welcome to Retrotainment. I'm here again with my newly promoted co-host, capital C, capital O, co-host.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, he's going to be here pretty much every week. There'll obviously be the odd week where either him or me won't be here, but you know, you'll get used to both of us and each of us individually.
Someone will be there from time to time.
Yeah, somebody will eventually be there. How are you doing anyway?
Not too bad, yeah. You?
Yeah, not too bad myself. Yeah. After the last episode, did quite well on the first one of this. Well, I was going to say series, not really series. There's just the two of them.
There's three of them.
No, well, the third one doesn't count. Not really.
Yeah.
There's actually meant to be a third one that they wanted to bring out, and they're still thinking about doing it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I heard talks of it come up there. It comes up every so often that they're like, we'll get Jim Carrey when he hasn't done it for a while, but then he's out there doing a pretty successful Sonic movie.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get the third
one. And I think Sonic 2 is slated for 2023, I think.
Oh yeah, Sonic will definitely get a second one because it did so well the first one. Like, it's definitely going to get a second one, and they left themselves completely open.
Yeah, when I seen it coming out, I was like, what are they going to do with Sonic, and how are they going to work the rings into what they did was very, very clever.
Yeah, I actually think they did a really good job with it. Yeah.
Now I'm glad. Now I know we talked about it before that the rebranding of what he looked like was a marketing ploy.
Yeah, I still believe that. Some people don't believe me, but yeah, I fully believe that.
It kind of does make sense because it happened so quickly. Yeah,
they were way too quick on the changing of them for me. To believe that, you know, oh yeah, no, we actually were going to bring this out, and then 2 weeks later, oh no, actually we have a new one here. But here we are, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, the second in the series. Released
the better one of the two, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone does. Released it only a year after the first one, which just shows how successful they felt the first one was. That
I don't even know if it was just a year.
It's just about a year. It's about a year and a half, I think.
Oh, is it? I thought it was a couple of months, like 8-9 months or so.
No, it's definitely 95 that it came out. The first one was 94, so it's definitely at least a year. As you say, I think this is overall the more popular one. It has an audience score of 72%, which is higher than the first one, but it has a lower critic score.
Yeah, well, this one is kind of just wild and ridiculous compared to the first one and what he does.
Yeah, there's a bit less of a plot line in this one. This one is more just
money.
Let's see what antics he can get up to, I think, yeah.
This one was just the as how popular the first one was, and he was starting to hit that height of fame.
Yeah.
Where definitely. They went, let's just cash in and see what we can get here.
Yeah, and they did cash in as well. They got 212 million in the box office.
212.
Yeah, so
I would have said it was in and around the 100 mark, maybe.
No,
then again,
the first one.
Times.
Well, the first one made about 100 million as well.
Yeah, it's solid going, really. Probably there's probably not there's not much CGI in it, really. Not that there would have been loads back then.
No, there wouldn't have been a whole lot.
But like training the monkeys and all, they've been used, and probably wasn't even that major of a budget to do it.
No,
I'd say the biggest part was paying Ace himself.
I would think so. Yeah, I'd say that was probably the biggest part. And they had to they kind of rushed this one out, so that was good to see that that's what they decided to go with. Because you don't really, like, normally when you're getting a second filmed, you know, it's 2-3 years down the line, especially now anyway. Back then, which was something I did like, you could go see one the first year and then you could go see the next one the next year.
Yeah, this to me seemed like as soon as he finished one, he was straight in.
Nearly straight onto
it. Say a couple of weeks and they went, this is happening.
Yeah, this is doing well. Get them back in and let's start shooting the second one.
Well, I suppose they didn't want them to sign up to about 2 or 3 other movies and then get held up.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look into it. They might have thought originally, you know, like we'll do well with the first one and sign them to a 2-film contract. I don't know. I didn't look into it, but that's
maybe
could be a possibility.
Just how quick it came out, like.
Yeah, they were definitely ready for it anyway.
So, like, how long does it take to film a movie? It definitely takes a couple of months, like.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially a movie like this when you're dependent on animals doing what thing. Now, some of them obviously aren't real animals, but
yeah,
like you're dependent on animals behaving for shots and times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But this one starts with him climbing up a mountain to
the cliffhanger scene.
Yeah, he's climbing up a mountain, and they get the helicopter up to him. They're like, Ace, we got everybody out of the wreckage, and he's like, "There's a raccoon up there."
Yeah.
And you're
He's
like,
like, "What about the raccoon?"
So he goes up to get him, and he eventually finds him. And
this is where he's like, "No, go back down. I'll go to the top myself."
Yeah.
Lehu. Zah.
Yeah, he has a little harness for the raccoon that he has him like strapped into.
Yeah, and then you see him. So if
But
any of you have seen if you've seen Cliffhanger, well, you know what happens to poor old Sly and his female friend.
Very very sad. Yeah, very sad time. The raccoon obviously falls and dies.
Now, if I was Ace there now, I'd be suing the company that made that buckle. That broke very, very easily.
It did break quite easily, but he goes and he joins a lot of, well, we assume Buddhist monks, but monks anyway.
Yeah, up at the top of a really big set of stairs.
Yeah, so he's in with them for quite a while after falling into
depression.
Basically what is a depression, yeah.
Or grieving. Maybe not depression, but grieving.
No, I think he is in a depression at this point, but he befriends all the animals up there, and they're all hanging around in his room.
Yeah, he has pigeons, he has tigers, he has everything in there. All you're short of seeing is Snowflake himself. Himself.
But they bring up, somebody comes up to get him because obviously he's needed, and he's like, he's describing him to the monks.
He's like Ace Ventura. Who?
Who's that? And he's trying to describe them, and he's like, he's this, he's that, and your man's just like, yeah, no, everyone's this, everyone's that, and he's like,
he talks out of his ass.
He sometimes talks with his ass, and your man's like, oh,
him.
So clearly not well liked by the monks, which, when you think about it, not surprising.
He is just sitting in his room though, so.
Yeah, that's what we see, but they've obviously seen him do the whole thing where he's talking with his ass, and I can't imagine he's sitting there completely enlightened.
No.
But they give him the medallion
to say that he's talking to him. He's like, I haven't obtained spiritualness yet.
Yeah.
You've just obtained it right now.
Yeah, here, take my medallion. This took you 80 years to get. Yeah, you got it. Go, get out of here. And they throw a big party.
And there is streaking monks, people doing backflips.
And then he decides to leave, and he says there's just one thing he needs to do before he leaves.
I'll meet you at the bottom.
I'll meet you at the bottom. And it's a slinky. Now, where he got this slinky, and how long has he been planning to do this?
Well, there's at least 50,000 steps in that.
Yeah, but he obviously hasn't done it before.
No, because I wouldn't walk down them stairs and come back up.
Well, he's going to, because it stops on the very last step. And he's like, can we go again?
Can we do it again? We really have to get on a plane. Fine. Let's do everything you want to do.
Yeah. Real childish. Like, yeah, I've just made you wait for what must have probably been...
at least a couple hours.
I don't know if it'd be a couple of hours. It's probably like, because the slinky goes pretty quick down the stairs. You're probably talking about an hour or two.
But if you think your man's already on the bottom.
Yeah.
And he's halfway down when he shouts down, this has got to be some kind of record.
Yeah, true. So yeah, it's probably an hour or two at least.
But brilliant.
He's not allowed to do it again, so they just have to accept. And they get on the plane, and this is where this is actually one of my favorite quotes comes from this plane. When he's like looking out the window and he's eating the peanut. Well, firstly, your woman's like,
penis?
Penis? And he's like, why, yes, I do have one. And she's like, no, Venus.
Peanuts.
He's looking out the window and he's like, there's something on the wing. Someone on the wing. Something.
The bit just before that is hilarious, where he's making the animal noises with the magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Yak, 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 yak.
Yeah, I would hate to be on the plane with this guy, because he would be so infuriating. But
imagine being locked in a room with him for half an hour.
It'd be a form of torture, Greg, a form of torture.
Imagine how the poor animals felt. No wonder they're all so quiet around them.
Yeah. But he's on the plane just being a general nuisance, essentially.
He's just being Ace.
They get brought to
Africa,
and they have to drive up to...
This That is
mansion.
one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, where he's sitting in the car and he's bouncing around.
Yeah, and your man's just sitting there perfectly still.
And it pans out, and it's like he's on the M50.
Yeah,
he's on a perfectly flat road.
Yeah, well, he is at the start, and then your man's like, it's just beyond that forest.
And he cuts through the jungle.
Straight through the jungle then. And how does he park? Nah, you don't just park like a normal human being. We'll flip the car.
What do? You barrel roll it.
Yeah, barrel rolls it like a glove.
And then you get the saying again from the first one, like a glove.
I mean, the car is in an absolute state.
He doesn't hit the other cars, though.
Does not hit the other car.
Until he opens the door.
Until he opens the door and purposely
straight
hits
into straight into the general's car, yeah.
Yeah. But in he goes into the mansion or whatever.
Yeah. And they walk around, don't they? They meet him outside.
Oh, well, he sees the elephant and your man on the horse.
Yeah, and he walks over then and he
whips
takes the whip off him. Doesn't seem that sore when you hit the horse, does it?
Yeah. Ace Ventura has a real connection with the animals.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
But he finds out it's a bat that he has to go and save, which he isn't happy about.
It's the one animal he does not like.
Yeah, he fears them. You know, maybe he's seen Batman. Who knows?
Maybe, or
maybe that's what it is.
Well, if you've seen Batman, I can understand that. Especially Batman Begins, when the kid falls down the well.
Yeah, that could be what it is. You know, maybe he's a big Batman fan, and that's what got him. But when he's in the house, he's looking around.
He's showing around, yeah.
And he sees two people coming down the stairs. One old guy with a monocle, and his presumably girlfriend wearing a fur coat.
She's definitely not his girlfriend. That's definitely a prostitute. If ever you've seen a prostitute.
Listen, Greg, I'm not going to cast speculation. You know, maybe that's his girlfriend. Yeah. But either way,
maybe.
She comes down the stairs in her nice fur coat, which Ace obviously doesn't particularly appreciate.
Yeah.
And they tell him, you know, well, maybe you should just try it and you'll enjoy it. Okay, I'll try it. Clunk. Out goes the Monopoly man.
As soon as he says it, though, and the man starts talking, he goes, well, you must be the Monopoly man.
He knocks him out, puts him over his shoulder.
La da da da.
You're right. This does feel great. Just plops him down into her arms. There you go. You have him back.
Just top drawer.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And it's one of the scenes I always remember from this film.
I think it's the one that everyone there's parts of this movie that everyone remember.
Yeah.
The dancing with the guy, the bit where he sticks all I don't know whether it's like bamboo or the stuff you get in Chinese.
The celery stuff, into his lips.
Into his teeth.
But he's getting shown around, and they show him the pictures of who they suspect may have stolen the bat and things like that.
The guy that looks like he's stolen the bat looks like if you ordered Mick Dundee off Wish, that's what you got.
But he starts doing hand puppets and things. But after this, the owner of the house is like, let me just show you this room, and it's full of animal heads. Yeah, which obviously Ace does not like. So it kind of gives you an inclination of what this guy is like. You know, he doesn't care about animals at all. Yeah, now the reason the bat is so important, we learn, is because he's the sacred animal.
He's the dowry between the two tribes,
two warring tribes. Yeah, and he's considered a sacred animal as well. So that's why it's such a big deal.
He's the great white bat.
Yeah. So off we go to
not quite Jaws level of great white, but
he's a bit smaller than Jaws, I would say. Yeah, he's a bit smaller.
Definitely that teeth is sharp though.
We go to the bats, where the bat is kept or was kept before it was stolen.
The village.
Yeah, when your man turns his back on him and he stands onto the.
He gets introduced to the shaman. No, he's not the shaman. What would you call it?
The chief.
The chief of the village. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the chief's there talking to him, and he's introducing himself, and he starts making a lot of noises, as in pretty much taking the piss out of like the African languages where they click and talk in their tongue and all.
Yeah.
And your man spits in his face.
Oh,
Straight in his face, and then Ace.
That's a mark of respect.
Yeah, Ace Hawk. Oh well, Ace hawks up the biggest loogie you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah, and they all think it's great.
Yeah, he
so much
out,
respect.
He walks out, and you see him cleaning themselves off, and oh.
But when they're in there, when they go into where the bat is kept, he keeps stepping up onto the platform behind them.
He gets a knife to his throat the first time he goes to step on. He's like, "That's sacred ground."
Yeah. But he then turns around and Ace straight up on top of it, throwing leaves and all in the air. And then he learns that if you say the name,
Shakaka,
they take a knee. So he starts trying it out. Chicago, Chihuahua, and eventually he catches the chief out, and you are out of here.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
But he has to go and investigate who he thinks has stolen the bat.
So he
he
goes to the cave, doesn't he?
He goes into the cave originally and throws his medallion at the bats, and then
he walks
runs
in
out.
Walks in with the flame, and he's like, "Okay, as long as I have this flame, I'll be okay."
Yeah.
And the bats
take this, you spawns of Satan!
You winged spawn of Satan! Ah!
So he runs out.
He throws his medallion. Oh no! Out he goes.
Runs out
with the bats all over him.
Yeah,
they're in my head. They're in my head.
But he discovers his first
clue.
Yeah, well, his first clue on who his first suspicion of who may have stolen the bat, and he's like, I need to sneak up on this guy. And what's the best way to sneak up on this guy who owns the zoo? As a rhino.
No, well, first of all, he's a monkey and he's picking the lice out of the head that's in behind you there.
Yeah. Well, that's when he's following him.
He's then a hippo.
Oh, he hides with the hippos,
yeah. Yeah, he hides up and he can move his ears, which is creepy.
That is creepy. But
and then
then it's a time to make an electronic rhino and sneak up on him.
He's with the lions. He's with the lions, well, eating the zebra, and he's like, "Wait, eat up, boys. None of this goes to waste."
But he's in the rhino, which is probably, I would say, the most memorable scene from this film.
Ah, this is top draw.
Where he has the tiniest little fan,
the
tiniest little electric fan that stops working, and it's just like, oh, well, now I'm going to be absolutely sweating to death. So
he starts stripping.
He discovers nothing really, in all actuality, and then he's like, I need to get out of here. Time to get some air. Goes to open the door, breaks the handle off.
Breaks.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
How am I going to get out? Oh, well, there's a little hole here at the back.
right under the tail pipe.
Yeah. Right, well, I'll get out of here then. So he starts pushing his way out.
Could you imagine how sore that would be? Yeah. Imagine that rubber latex feeling all over. No.
And he's like chewing on it and everything to try and make it bigger. Yeah.
And then, of course, a tour group comes up.
Completely nude because he's stripped off while he's in there. And a tour group, oh my God, she's giving birth to a baby rhino. Well, out he pops.
That's Ace for you. Committed to the cause.
Out he pops. Everybody, get back in the tour vans.
What else did he do? He had Spike, his monkey, attach him to the car. Remember with the parachute?
Oh yeah.
under the meme with the secret agent man.
Yeah, secret agent man.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but he eventually gets captured by the evil tribe.
He gets a tip. No, he gets a tip as to the lads being in the jungle. Is that not the next bit?
Yeah, well, he goes rooting around in the jungle and then gets shot in the neck about 30 times with the
paralyzing. The way he runs, and he gets shot in the arm and the leg and everything.
Yeah, he's flopping around.
Yeah, and then he gets behind the tree. He gets shot 4 times in the back, and then he just throws himself. And it's the best sell I've ever seen.
Yeah, but
brilliant.
Well, we assume it's by the opposing tribe. That's what we're told, is that it's by the opposing tribe because he gets brought back.
Into the Wachati tribe.
Yeah, he gets brought back and he gets healed up, and he's
drinking out of the bowl.
Yeah, but he meets this is when he kind of meets the daughter of.
So she's the one that's going to be.
She's the one that's going to get married to
the enemies.
well, I don't know if they're enemies. They're just
warring at the minute because the bat is gone.
Bat is missing. Yeah. So this is when he meets her when she's helping him to recover.
He's also spitballing the guy on the tower.
Yeah, who's trying to become a man. Yeah, trying to become a man. Yeah, spitting at him.
Firing spitballs at him.
But he eventually gets a tip, he investigates the guy that he spied on with the rhino and finds out it's not him.
Yeah,
and
then he goes off to. He's like, I have to go investigate the other tribe.
Yeah, because he thinks they've been the ones to shoot him with the darts, and therefore they must have been the ones to steal it. So off he goes to investigate.
This is just priceless.
He goes to investigate the other tribe, and they capture him.
And he goes to bring a translator.
He's had to bring a translator because he wouldn't understand them.
And he gets there, and he's like, I'm a master of disguise. So they're all having their ritual dance and whatnot.
Yeah, he puts on the mask, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, they're all dancing away, and then Ace just pops up. And he starts dancing beside each house, peering in.
Yeah, but he seems to be getting away with it for quite a bit until he rips the mask off.
Yeah,
and they don't like that. They call him the White Devil.
Yeah. But when he gets captured, he's like, "It's okay. They know where I am. What a chance! I've sent for help. Oh, Ace, they caught me too.
Hi, Ace, they caught me too.
Yeah, genius.
And then he asks him to translate what he's saying of, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm just trying to investigate. And your man translates it to essentially, I will kill all of you.
And the White Devil. He maintains. Why did I hear the White Devil in there?
Did you just call me the White Devil? That's what they know you as.
White Devil.
But they say to him the only way he's going to get out of there is to
pass their challenges.
Which the first one is
the log.
Walk on some coal.
Oh, the coal, yeah.
So the first guy walks across the coal, and then Ace pushes him onto the coal, jumps on his back, and there you go. Got across that easy enough. The next one is he has to battle the guy on the log in the river.
The balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just takes the towel off and whips your man. Gone. Easy.
Then it comes down to the big
one. The final battle. You need to fight
Tiny.
You need to fight Tiny, and you will.
Do you ever notice though in films?
Fight to the death.
Do you ever notice in them films, like even when you see Madagascar, when it's an African tribe and they're fighting, the big guy or the dangerous guy is always called Tiny.
Yeah,
like
but
Tiny
he's usually the big guy.
Yeah, he's huge in Madagascar.
He's not huge in this one.
No.
Well, Tiny is, but he's only carrying in the guy you have to fight.
He's angry as shit.
Who is insane.
Yeah.
Completely insane.
So their version of a straitjacket is a little bag that he gets carried in on.
Yeah.
And he goes to open it and they're trying to bite at him and everything.
Yeah. What I do like is that when he gets to Ace the first time, he messes with the hair to give him the horns, so he's now actually the White Devil.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which Ace doesn't like because nobody messes with his hair.
Don't mess with the dew, man.
So the tribe throw their combatant a spear,
and
which he lobs at Ace straight into the bone.
Ace protagonizes and she's like, "Go on, throw it. I've got the reflexes of a cat and the speed of a mongoose."
Yeah, he thinks he's Jack Burton.
He does think he's Jack Burton. That was the point I was going to make there.
Yeah.
If you go back and listen to the episode on Big Trouble Little China, you'll know who Jack Burton is.
Yeah, he thinks he's Jack Burton. I'm going to catch you. Yeah, well, he caught her.
Straight in the
bone. Right in the bone of his leg. Throw me a spear!
To his own guy who throws him a spear.
Throws him the spear, point first, straight into the other leg, and then you get another one of the big iconic scenes.
You can't throw that spear other end first, to be honest with you.
No, but you should throw it with the spear with the pointy bit up in the air. So, like,
it's coming down.
Yeah, it's coming. No, so that the pointy bit is up in the air, and it's you catch it like that. Not like you're actually trying to javelin at him.
Just little.
Yeah, but then we get one of the best scenes of
No! It's in the bone. It's in the bone. It's in the bone.
But they all love this. They think it's the funniest thing ever which it is.
Ace does not.
Ace doesn't think it's particularly funny, but all the tribesmen think it's hilarious. So they let him go.
He's free.
They say, "You're funny, man. We'll let you go."
Yeah.
And he now has to go, and he's discovered they don't have the bat. His first suspect didn't have the bat, so now he's
been told he has 72 hours to find
72 hours, or there's going to be a massive, massive war. So he sneaks up on the two guys that he was shown to be suspects and finds the bat in their hut.
And he starts making the bear noises.
No, the gorilla noises.
Oh, the gorilla noises. Sorry,
gorilla noise, and they go to hunt down the gorilla, and he goes to steal the bat.
Yeah.
But gets caught.
Yeah, as he does. He's standing outside looking in the window, and he's like, and then all you hear is, "Oh, she's a big one, all right."
Yeah. But he gets caught and gets brought back to the mansion.
Yeah.
Where he's
no, he doesn't. He doesn't get brought back to the mansion. He gets put on the raft. Remember, he's tied to the raft going down the waterfall.
Yeah.
And him and Spike are trying to bite their way out of the ropes. Spike
gets out. Yeah, Spike gets out.
Which I'm pretty sure you will also have seen in Friends.
Yeah, I would imagine it's the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Spike gets out.
Capuchin monkeys acting at that stage.
No, Spike gets out, but Ace unfortunately goes over the waterfall and then fights an alligator.
He's like, "Chew me out, chew me out."
But he fights an alligator and he beats him easily. No bother.
Because he's Ace.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you could catch an alligator, all you have to do is pull his head back.
Yeah, because they have it's all
top jaw.
Yeah, it's all top jaw. So once
I say that being like all you have to do. I don't imagine that's going to be easy.
Yeah, especially when it's in the water that you've just come down a waterfall into.
Yeah, but theoretically, if for some reason you're ever attacked by an alligator or you're confronted by one, pull the head up.
Yeah,
don't touch that top jaw.
No, just pull the head up.
Get right under the jaw, and you'll be grand.
But they have. He gets off that and he gets back to the mansion.
Yeah.
And he tells them, "This is who has it," and he discovers, "Oh, who hired me is actually the one who's having the bat stolen."
This is when he's in the hut and he's like, "So do you know how I know?" He's like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because you had an abrasion on your left palm, indicating a fall from 2 to 3 feet. You also had white clay on your boot that I thought was from building. It is actually guano."
Bat poo.
Yeah.
And bat poo is a huge fertilizer, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business, they claim.
So
which is why he was doing it.
One tribe killed the other one, they have access to the cave that has all the guano in it.
Yes. So that's the motive behind all this. But he discovers this, and
you get another iconic scene.
Before we get the iconic scene, he drops to the floor and starts crawling around.
That's the iconic scene. Quick, Martin, hit the lights. He starts trying to flip and roll.
And he's rolling and crawling around, and he's just like, "Fine, arrest me.
Take me to jail."
But
and he's getting brought out, and the what would you say, his chief of police maybe?
Yeah, basically his chief of police is like, "Get in the car," and he calls the elephant over.
Uchi. Oh, who's it? What? And you see the chief looking at him going, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
But the elephant comes over
and sits on the car. Knocks out the chief, sits on the car.
And then we get basically what is a Jumanji stampede.
Brilliant. It is brilliant. He comes in riding the elephant.
Yeah, and so the bat is now in the possession of the rich guy who drives off.
He's the head of the safari or something.
Yeah, who drives off in his Jeep. So Ace runs out and he's like, "There's no keys in that Jeep. Crap.
There's
no keys in that Jeep. Go to the next one. No keys in that Jeep. Oh, this one has keys. Yeah, this big monster truck of a Jeep that nobody else has happened to see at all in the entire film."
Yeah, it is literally a monster truck.
Yeah, big massive Jeep. So he's chasing them down in that.
This has one of my favorite scenes in it though, where he's chasing him along and he's trying to run him off the road, and he gets the cigarette lighter and pushes it in and just fucks it onto his lap.
Your man's like, "Oh!"
And then he crashes.
And the bat flies in, the bat cage flies into a tree.
Yeah, and he tries to get it out and then runs off.
he tries to get it out and he can't get the cage out, and he realizes that he doesn't have the time to.
No. But the bad guy
Oh, the
gets
bad guy
He
sneaks off.
tries to get it out, and he runs off. Then.
Yeah, but Ace
Yeah.
realizes he doesn't have the time to get this cage out.
Yeah.
So he just grabs the bat and just
after much deliberation in his own head.
There's a big. The fight is about to start. They're both on opposite ends of the jungle to each other, just facing each other like a wall of death in that you'd see at like a heavy metal gig or whatnot. And they're about to all rush in, and Ace just runs straight through the middle of all of them with the bat held high.
Again, kind of like Big Trouble in Little China, where they're coming down the alley.
Yeah, pretty similar to that. And he just runs down through the middle of them all with the bat.
Shakaka!
Shakaka!
It's hilarious.
So they all take the knee.
He's running through the forest.
And then he puts it back in its cage.
Yeah.
And
all is well.
All is well, but they notice that the rich guy, when he's trying to sneak off, they notice him and they're like, "Hey!" So the tribes both chase him into somewhere where he eventually hides.
Well, actually, we missed a bit because there's a scene where they say about the gorillas coming into mating season.
Yeah, they've mentioned that it's mating season.
It's kind of a random part at the start of it when he comes into Africa.
Yeah.
And you think nothing of it, but
then they hide it. He hides in a load of bushes to get away from these guys. A big gorilla comes out, and next thing we see is just the bush kind of jostling about.
Away.
And then we go back to
the tribe's wedding.
The tribes where the marriage is taking place
has happened,
and it's they've just got married. Everyone's happy, no problems. Everything's safe now.
It's time for the consummation.
They're going to consummate the marriage. Ace has done it again.
And the little angry guy that stabbed him in the leg with a spear has discovered that she is not a virgin.
Yeah.
He comes out screaming, and they're like, she's not a virgin. And Ace's eyes just kind of go, oh shit.
They can tell that.
Yeah.
And the film ends with him running away from these killer tribes again.
Yes. This time it's both of them.
Yeah, this time they're both unhappy. Again, it's a film like I enjoy this. I definitely think this is better than the original.
Well, I think the first one is the story.
The storyline is definitely better in the first one. They have a better story in the first one.
Again, both of them have the premise of money being the.
Yeah, it's always just money. Like that's what motivates
I
people.
suppose most crimes are usually for money.
Yeah, it's usually money motivated. Yeah. The first one has a better storyline and a better plot line to it. But
probably better acting too. To be fair,
possibly. Yeah.
In this one, Jim Carrey is just Jim Carrey. In the other one, they had a few others.
Yeah, I think this one relies more on Jim Carrey than the first one does. The first one kind of has the storyline, has the plot line to it, and there's a bit of a twist at the end. This one, there's not so much of a twist because you always know your man's kind of a bit of a dick after showing Ace the room with all the animal heads. You can kind of tell.
If you've never seen this, as soon as you see that scene, you're like, yeah, he's involved.
Yeah, he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
So
he could just be an arsehole. But...
Yeah, he could just be an arsehole, but you're just like, he's not a nice guy, that lad, anyway. So I think this one's more popular because it's just comedy. It's more pure comedy than it's a bit more outlandish, and the jokes are a bit more out there. So if you like that style of film and this sort of comedy, this one is just more it.
This one's the wacky comedy.
Yeah, and I think this one's a little less crude in a way.
Yeah, apart from the one scene when he's pretending to be Tarzan shouting out of his arses.
Oh, jeez, I forgot to mention that one when he's talking just before the stampede when he gets up on top of the thing.
He does the Tarzan roar and he's bent over. He's doing the ass off.
Yeah. I think this one's a little less crude and
it's definitely more cringy though.
In certain ways, yeah. It's of its time,
Yeah, this one, like the other one had a little story to it where it didn't rely on Jim Carrey as much. Yeah. This one, if it wasn't Jim Carrey, would be atrocious.
Yeah, you really needed Jim Carrey's overacting and indulgence in his facials and his mannerisms and stuff, or it doesn't really work.
Dumb and Dumber, relied on that kind of comedy as well, but
Yeah,
it had a
there's
supporting
a story
cast.
that yeah.
Like is it Jeff Bridges? No, no, Jeff Bridges is the dude. Oh, what's his man's name? Oh, that's gonna do my head in. The other guy from Dumb and Dumber, whose name I can't remember now.
The other main guy, or
Yeah, the other main guy. It is Jeff Daniels.
yeah,
Like, there's other people that kind of help bring that along. Like Jim Carrey's not in every scene in that.
yeah. This one without Jim Carrey, like nearly every scene is just Jim Carrey in this film.
Yeah, doing something.
Yeah, so I think this one's more memorable. There's more scenes in this that you remember.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, probably
overall,
a bit more quotable.
Yeah, this one's my favorite one of the
This
two.
is the one I prefer of the two, and I think most people do. Well, the audience do. The critics seem to prefer the first one over this one, but that, as we said, is probably because the first one has a storyline to it.
Yeah, it has Courtney Cox and a couple others.
Yeah, this one's just here's Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey for
an hour and 26 minutes.
An hour and a bit. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
but no, I still enjoyed it, and again, it's a film that if you're not into that kind of humor, you're just not going to like. But we both are into it, and a lot of people enjoyed the first film.
Yeah.
Or our review of the first film, and we're saying how much they loved the film, so presumably they probably loved this one as well.
Yeah. Well, this one, if you didn't like it, you could understand a little bit more, because this one is 100% overacting the whole way through.
Yeah, but this is where it really depends on if you like Jim Carrey or not.
Yeah, the other one was kind of a more serious comedy, if that makes sense in a way.
Yeah, they pan it out a little bit better. This one's definitely got more shoehorning in it. Like,
I'd say
we just want to get this joke in, put it in. We want to get this joke in, put it in.
I'd say he improv the shit out of this movie.
I would say there was a lot of improv, and then they thought it was really funny, and were like, we'll include that. So
yeah,
but again, yeah, another film I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's good. Like the couple of reviews that we started with have all been kind of serious movies, so to move to a little bit of comedy was
yeah, it's good to kind of mix it up a little bit more.
Yeah,
and I've enjoyed rewatching both of these now.
Well, I actually forgot some of the scenes in the first one, even though I'd watched it so much.
Well, that's the thing; it's easy to forget them. Like as we said before, it's very easy to mix the two of them up. Like, did this happen in 1 or 2, or is that number 2, or is that number 1?
Yeah, that's where we were talking about the Monopoly Man.
Yeah, I was always convinced the Monopoly Man was number 1, but then because I was always like, no, it's at a rich person's house, and he goes to a rich person's house in both films.
Yeah, it's the one like where one is where he falls into the shark tank. Yeah,
one he falls into a shark tank, the other one he punches the Monopoly Man.
Yeah, and he stampedes the elephant.
Yeah, but no, again, it's a film that I've enjoyed. You've clearly enjoyed it as well.
Again, it's another film that I will sit down and watch if it's on.
Exactly.
I don't care. It's easy watching, basically.
Yeah.
And sometimes after coming home from work or whatever, it's just something to do.
That's where this really excels. If you want to watch something and you literally want to sit down and just turn your brain off completely, and you don't want to think about anything at all, stick something like this on, because you don't need to think about anything.
If you ask me to name a couple actors that you could do that with, like if you want to just watch something, you don't have to see the first one, you don't have to see the second one. It could be 10 of them. Put one on. Jim Carrey's one actor that you could always say. Very little story too. Very easy to follow.
Yeah. True.
Will Ferrell's another one. Now I know he's moved into a more serious kind of.
Yeah, but as you say, like something like Anchorman, which is something that's just a sit down dumb comedy as well. There is a story to that, so you do have to follow. Like this film in particular.
Yeah, it's just.
You really don't need to know anything that's happening.
You don't even have to have seen the first one. Just to know who he was.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't need to know anything at all. You just sit down, watch it.
You probably don't even need to know what the first one is, because they pretty much explain that he has a genius thing with animals straight away.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing that.
The first one.
Yeah, there's nothing in the first one that like you recognize. Oh, he did the thing where he talks out of his ass and said "lahu zaher," but if you hadn't seen the first one, then this is the first time you see it, and you're just like, okay, that's what he does.
Huh?
To me, which is what I was saying. I don't really consider them, a series.
No, they're just the same actor or same character.
2 films, yeah, that's
it. Theoretically, they're a series, but
yeah, like they're both Ace Ventura, but there's no need to see one to see the other.
No, No, like if you watch 2 before 1, you wouldn't know which one's the first one.
Exactly. Like I could have put on either of these and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But again, really enjoyed this film, and hopefully, not hopefully, we will have you on again. Obviously, Greg, since you're now the co-host.
This one won't be remade.
No, definitely not. No. If they want to make a film similar to this, they'll have to just get a completely different story, which they could do. I think there's scope for making a pet detective film again.
But yeah, it'll be completely different. They'll rebrand it, reboot it.
Yeah.
I hope they don't. I think
I hope they don't. I don't think it needs it, but like I could see it being done.
Oh yeah, well, Hollywood
well.
have a contingency or a plan. They're running out of ideas now, so they're just remaking movies.
Yeah, and it could be done well as well. That's the thing. It's the sort of film that you could do.
Yeah,
you could do, and you could do well. So.
Oh, it wouldn't be hard. Like I'm trying to figure out, like even from when we did the last one, I'm trying to figure out who could play him.
See, I don't think Ace Ventura would be the way this Ace Ventura was. It'd be I think it'd be a very different style.
Do you know who you could actually see doing it? You know, you meant Will Arnett.
Yeah.
He could be. He has that kind of same look, but he has that sarcastic.
Yeah, you could have someone like that. Like, I don't think they need to. I don't want to see someone try and be Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura. If they do it,
it's just not going to happen.
Just be something different. Yeah.
Like that's where when things like that happen, I'll end up hating the remake.
Yeah, because you're trying to be exactly what the other person was. Just take the role yourself and be like, you can take elements of their thing, which is why, say for example, Heath Ledger's Joker, he takes elements of Nicholson.
And he takes elements of them all, really.
Yeah, but like
any of the ones that have come before him. But
but he takes a lot from Jack Nicholson, but you can see he doesn't want to be Nicholson.
Yeah, well, he wanted to be his own, but
that's the thing. Like you can take inspiration, but don't try and be a copy.
Yeah, well, like even there, when you look at the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, Jackie Earle Haley tried to do it.
Yeah. Didn't work out.
Like to me, as poor as the movie was, he was okay.
Yeah, but you couldn't redo it completely because it didn't fit the film anymore.
But like what I liked about that was like they tried something different, and then halfway through they just decided, no, it's not working.
Yeah.
But try to copy someone's method. Like you can't copy someone like Jim Carrey in this. You can't copy Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. It just doesn't work. Like
no, you need to be your own guy.
Yeah, but, and I feel a little sorry for people that when they sign on to do that, and they're told, no, this is how you're doing it. Wait, what?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But another great showing, and thanks very much for coming on again, Greg. And
thanks for the promotion, boss.
You're welcome. You deserved it. Good luck.
Yeah, after.